Good morning all and welcome to our Premier League recap and review for round 6 and 7. We're at the Milner boat again on this Sunday morning and another vacant seat. We were supposed to have Ryan Reynolds co-hosting again this week, but unfortunately he's on his way back from Malaysia. So we've got another special guest host this week. Mark's still obviously in Canada enjoying himself, and yes, Rhino flying back in today. So let me introduce this week's guest, panellist. He's another Premier League royalty player. He was an all Portarlington team member in the 2023 season. One of the most attractive men at the golf club, just like Flanders. Can be known to be slow on the golf course and very deliberate. He is the self-appointed captain of the most disliked team in the competition, the Pirates. We welcome Darren Mirrors Heaton.
Good morning, Matthew.
Oh, have a look at it.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Daz. How are we?
I've just been to a Pirate meeting.
Oh, have you? How was the recap after this week's game?
Not very good. I got lost because I got this stupid patch on. I couldn't see where I was going.
Yeah, well, you are sort of getting into it. I noticed you've got a few Pirates bit of paraphernalia here, so welcome. You've been a long-time watcher and now you're a participant.
Yes, I do miss Hazy. And I've got a little special treat for you and for Hazy in a minute.
Okay. Oh, well, that sounds good. But yes, what did you think of this week's games, Darren? It was exciting, but also disappointing for a number of teams. Only 3 players played to their handicap or better, and it was one of the lowest scoring rounds in Premier League history. Actually, the 3rd lowest in the 3 seasons we've had.
Yep.
What was the go? Was the course playing tough because the weather was good, sunny, it was a bit cold, but...
Well, the wind does bring you back.
The wind, okay.
The wind definitely, you hit the ball high, it came back, you had long shots into these greens, and the greens, some of the pin positions were quite good. So you had to be a good chipper and putter.
Yeah, okay, so a bit of course management come into it, did it?
Yeah, I saw some very good shots, but the putts would not sink.
Yeah, so not quite as tough as the US Open at Pinehurst where the false fronts and rolling off?
Oh, I thought it was pretty much similar.
Very similar, okay.
Very similar.
Well, I'm sure our Superintendent Steve would be happy with it to be compared to Pinehurst number 2.
Yes, I reckon it is compared to Pinehurst.
And how did you go? What did you finish with? You had a...
34.
34, okay. And, best for the Pirates?
Yes, which is a shame. We weren't all there today. We're missing our superstar, Sue Gregory. And also, we've had a couple of players down, but that wind does bring you back enough to make your second shot so difficult that your chipping and putting's got to be so good at the moment in the wind. Yeah. And that's what
Well, that's what we talk about. Short game, short game, short game. That's the way to get lower scores. But we'll get straight into this week's games. We had the last place, the Granny Corner Goblins play the Tower Road Tornadoes, and the Goblins went down again. Tornadoes 188 to the Goblins 183. For the Goblins, Ian Burrell top scored for them with 33. Rick Edmondson, the Recometer.
Yep.
33 points for Rick.
He's finally delivering, the postman.
Yes. Darren Wilson, Tickle My, he had 32. Justin McGrath, 32. Shirley Bell, 30. And then we had Skeeter Howard, Dave Byrne and Max Edmondson. A score of 23 counted for their team. That's pitiful. Well, the Tornadoes, they were led by Fiona Newman again. She had 34. The Sword, he had 32. Scotty Hopgood, 32. While Bernie Reid had 31. Stu Madden, 30. And then 29 counted. There was Warren Stevenson, Norma Vogel on those. But a 5-point win to the Tornadoes. Well, I would say it was underwhelming, Mirrors. But it was in the balance right to the end. Fiona got out there early with the 34. So herself, Shawnee Ward and Scotty Hopgood, they led out, and Ian Burrell, Tickle My Doodah and Juzzy McGrath, they sort of evened out the scores. And then when Shirley come in with the afternoon 30, and then Rick come in with 33.
Go Rick.
Well, how's this? Rick's average prior to yesterday was 21 points. He had a best score he's ever had in Premier League was in 2022. In round 13, he had 34 points. That was his best ever. He's had 33 on Saturday.
Yep.
He's had a wipe on the 6th, 1 point on the 5th, and then 1 point on the 8th, and they were his last few holes. So he was on target for greatness there. I have found the secret to Rick's improvement. Have a look at the photo here. He's bought a golf cart and he had his esky full of beer. Maybe that's the secret to Rick. He needs a cart now.
Well, he's a very relaxed man. You wouldn't want to overdo it.
No, well, that's true. But anyway, we get back to the match. It was left to one player on the course. Our associate professional, Max Edmondson. Now, Max leading, coming into this week's game, he'd had scores of 36, 34, 34, 32, I think it was. All he needed to do, Darren, on Saturday was to have 29 or better. This is from a associate professional, wants to make a living in the game. What do you think he had?
30.
No, they lost. He needed 29 for him to win.
28.
He's had 20 bloody 3. It's a counted score. You should be ashamed of yourself. Rumour has it, he is lucky to have all 14 clubs intact in the bag. A little bit agitated out on the golf course. But the Tornadoes, it was probably their worst performance of the year. And probably just lucky that they ran into an undermanned Goblins team and they were enough to get over the line there with a score of 188. In the under 25 scores that we normally highlight, Skeeter Howard, he was replacing Ryan Reynolds. David Byrne, Max Edmondson had 23, while Stevie Evans had 21. Maybe needs to go back fishing in Darwin to try and find his golf game again. And the Tornadoes, they only had the one player under 25, and it's a big name. She could be rocketing into contention for the Rockometer. Yvette Pollock had 24.
Yvette.
Ex-Pirate player.
Should have been a Pirate.
She should have stayed.
Yeah.
But yeah, 24. Very disappointing by Yvette. You got anything else to add there for that one?
Now, before we continue, I do have a couple of gifts. I know that Flanders came in and gave you the sword.
Mm-hmm.
The gangster. So I've got a couple of presents from the Pirates.
Oh, from the Pirates.
Yeah. So I know that you missed your mate. I'm over here. I know you missed your mate, so I've got a little. Just so you can have a little squeeze.
Oh, this is this Hazy, is it?
Little baby Hazy. So while he's away, you can give him a little squeeze.
Okay.
But I've also got you one.
Oh, he's on your side.
And there's one, because I've got a mate who he makes these up. It's from a 3D printer. Perfect likeness, Maddie and Hazy. Giggles and Bigfoot.
Oh, very good. Thank you, Daz. Who thought all the Pirates were flogs, and you've just actually cemented that view.
That's my middle name, Flog.
Now we're going to get into the next game, which was your team. The Pigden Street Pirates up against the Madonna's Peakers. And what do you know? We had a draw. 182 to 182. Peakers had 11 players. The Pirates had 10. For the Peakers scorers, our host from last week, the Flange, he had 32. Like, best score for the Peakers was 32. Then also Digger James 32, Murray Wiley 31, Johnny Leaking 30, the Stig had 29, and then Lloyd Shepherd, Dodsey and Yvonne Casey 28. While for the Pirates, you were the leading scorer, 34, Flea Pollock 32, Pete Solahub 31, Dennis Wood 30, Manny Golfers 28, and then Jimmy Pike found the scorer for the first time, and Jerry Raviani 27. But even you see there, no one played the handicap in this match. It's the second draw of the season, and it involved the Peakers again, so there might be something in that. In another low-scoring affair, it also went down to the wire. So yourself, Flea, and Dennis put the Pirates into a good start with a slight edge over Flanders, Digger, Johnny Leading, and Yvonne. But the PM players for both teams really failed to give much improvement. After Scuba, Hub, and Pikey put their scores in, their scores were neutralised by the Stig and Murray Wiley, and it was left to the last player on the course from both teams, and that was Manny Golfers.
The superstar.
So plays in the last group. To get the Pirates over the line, he needed 29 points to win. And what did he do? He come in with 28.
That's right, Manny. Don't worry about it. We're still going to be in the finals.
So a draw, better than a loss, but yeah, 28 for Manny there. So who maybe caused their team, who cost their team victory for the Peakers? Flanders started on the 10th, wiped 10 and 11 in the third. Digger James wiped his second last hole, the 8th. Johnny Leading wiped 15 and 16 and had 1 point on 17. Murray Wiley wiped the 2nd. Lloyd Shepherd wiped 12 and 16. Dodsey had 3 wipes on the back 9. And Yvonne Casey, in her last 4 on her back 9, which she played the front 9 as her back 9, she had wipes on 5, 6 and 7. While the Pirates, you had 1 point on the 18th, your last hole.
Mm-hmm.
Flea Pollock in the triangle, 1-2-1. And 3 1-pointers on his back 9. Scuba had 4 wipes. Dennis Wood had 4 1-pointers on the back 9. Manny in the triangle went white 2. And Pikey had 1-2-1 in the triangle.
The alarm's going off when he gets too much Rain Man. I brought the mascot in.
The Pirates mascot. Well, we're going to put that up there, the pig.
When he gets into the Rain Man mode, we're just going to calm him down. Look, it's...
But yes, like it was a chance for both teams to win, and they both blew it. They get 2 points each, which obviously still gives them a little bit of movement up the ladder there. And then in our under 25 scoring, Marion Keskinen for the Peakers had 22, while the Pirates had 25 for David Newman and 23 from Lee McMurrich, who is absolutely off Flanders. Didn't see the video last week, but I showed him a snippet of it, of how Flanders absolutely berated him in the video, and he was seeing red. So any advice, anything? Can you give us a recap from your Pirates?
The Pirates were fine. We had our superstar Sue missing with her broken foot. She'll be here soon. Lynn didn't have the best day, and most of us didn't have the best day, but mainly that the greens were just a little bit difficult for the Pirates. We're more a slower green putting team.
Right, okay. Oh, well, looks like it's going to suit you because we're coming
Very
into winter.
slow.
But Steve-O, keep dusting and keep rolling to get the speed on those. So now we'll get through that game, and now we'll go into the Hood Road Hookers versus the 20 Acre Warriors. And a 1 point margin here again, Darren. The Hookers, 177, defeated the Warriors, 176. Another low scoring contest. Hookers had the 9 players, Warriors had the 10. For the Hookers, we had Matt Davies, 31, Richie House, 30, Neil Ryan, 29, Matt Miles, 29, and Kenny Hughes, 22. And they had a fill-in player, Toby Prime Time.
Mirrors.
He come in with 36 for the Hookers. So, great score, Toby.
36.
For the Warriors, Julie Milne, she had 33, Jacob Blenner-Hassett, 31, Ray Lininger, 31, Grant Peacock, 29, Cam O'Keefe, 26, and also the ageless one, Pete DeFazio and Josh Bowen, 26. As I said, another tight tussle, could have gone either way. Both teams would be disappointed with their scores. But players from both teams actually conceded defeat through the game. In that, we can't win this, we're gone. And then it sort of, it just like a seesaw. Just goes to show that 1 point can be crucial in these games. And that was what happened. For the Warriors, they were in control early with Mum. She had 33, and Jacob and Ray with their 31. Yes, Darren, 31 was a great score in this match.
Yes.
While the Hookers were trailing, with Malesy the only counted score from the morning, and in the triangle he went 2-1 white. So he leaked a bit of oil late, but it appeared safe for the Warriors. And with only Hookers players left on the course in Richie Howes and Toby Jezza Prime to come in, and the Warriors had Josh Bowen left. They were the ones that were left there. But
Good play, Josh.
But what happened? Richie Howes in with 30. It was a counted score. On his last 9, he had 5 1-pointers, and he wiped the last. Then Toby Prime, 22 points after 9 holes. And that was when the choke started to set in. 2 wipes on the back 9, 2 1-pointers, and he ended up having a 3-pointer on the last to get him with 36.
Still very good.
Which then left Josh Bowen, the last player from the contest. He needed 26 to win for the Warriors. Well, he was an all Portarlington player last year. The triangle for Josh was 1-1-1. And then on his last 9, he had a 1-pointer and a wipe to finish with 26. Cost his team victory. But then also my mum, she could have cost them 2. She was going great. Her last 3 holes, which was holes 7, 8, 9, she went wipe 1 for 33. So the Warriors probably have let this one slip. They should have won it. The under 25s for the Hookers, Kenny Hughes 22, which was a counted score. Not very often a team wins with that. Jill Barker and Dave Hutton 21. For the Warriors, Noel Pike 23, Robbie Moorcroft and Craig Connolly 21.
The great Jack says the wind separates the men from the boys.
It does.
And it definitely did. That wind was pretty nasty. So the ones expected. We're going to have a lot of ones and a lot of wipes. And some of the scores are quite good with the wipes. To see there's 3 or 4 wipes. And I think most of the players played well, but that was difficult. That wind was swirling.
You're looking very intelligent, Darren. Well done. That's well said.
Let's fix that.
You gave a bit more than Flanders. But we've got some golf balls. Obviously here, Callaway is our major supplier for the prizes, etc. And we've got a little tub here as well. They're probably for Dave Hutton, who lost, I was reliably informed, 4 balls on the course of the round yesterday. So Dave, we do sell them in the pro shop, so please come in and see us and we'll get you into some Callaway golf balls for this coming Saturday. Now we will go to the last game for the round, which was the Crossover Crusaders.
Boo!
Yellow team,
Boo!
yellow. 207
the
defeated the Back Paddock Bollies 204.
All last year's premiers.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
big high scoring game here. The Crusaders had 12 players, the Bullies had 12. The Crusaders, as the highest scoring team, win our Callaway golf balls, and we also have our Travis Matthew Polo winner in this match as well. So we'll start with the Crusaders. Bobby Gibbs had 37, Pete O'Neill 35, the Milkman had 35, Yanni Lathouris 34, Jan Cogger 34, and Dan Hopgood and Jeanette Johnson 32. While for the Bullies, Ross Morland had 31, Richard West 32, Rob Casey 32, Phil Stevens and Billy Archer 34. But the star for the Bullies and the star for the competition was Stewie Anderson with a magnificent 41 points.
Yeah. He gives it a whack, Stewie, so he would have went after it, so well done.
Yes, did get a little text message how he cursed my putting at one stage, and when he did that, he went to crap. Now he's actually apologised to me, his game's come back and he putted a lot better. So, yeah, well done, Stewie, 41, and not very often a team that has a 41 in it loses. Just goes to show the depth and the strength of the Crusaders. But, yeah, the top team played the 3rd place team here. I said once Stewie come with that magnificent 41, it looked like it was going to be all over, but the afternoon players of the Crusaders, when Jeanette Johnson come in with 32, Jan Cogger 34, and then the Drayton medalist Pete O'Neill chimed in with his 35.
Go Tigers.
There was one player left, and it was the Milkman. Milkman. He was left on the course.
He delivered.
He needed to have at least 33 points for them to get over the line. Now, he had 16 on his first 9, so he was he was in control. Then he started to get the scar tissue from previous weeks. He had a 1-pointer on the first, but then counteracted that with a magnificent birdie on the 3rd, par on the 4th, but then had a 1-pointer on the 5th. So he was 27 points with 4 to play. Needed 6 on his last 4, and he actually parred in for 8 points to finish with 35 and give the Crusaders another close victory and keeps them undefeated.
Well played.
The under 25s to the Bullies. Young Cooper McMurrich, 17. Was under a little bit of duress. Unfortunately, Coop's dog had to be put down on Saturday morning, so rest in peace to Alfie. But yeah, Coop got out there and played, but yeah, didn't have his best day. And then the Crusaders, the stalwart, Geldof James, 19. What can you say about Chris?
Chris, you do well each week. Don't listen to him. He's a superstar.
Yeah, 19.
But that was crap.
Yeah, it was pretty ordinary. He could be back into... He just wants the free shirt at the end of the year for the PP team. But yeah, we had a great round 6 there. We might just go to the ladder now, Darren, and we can see there that the Crusaders are now sit atop of the ladder, 1.5 games clear, and a big percentage ahead of your team, the Pirates. It's interesting though now that you've got a 1.5 game gap back to the Bullies, the Peakers and the Hookers all on 12. Tornadoes are only half a game out of 3rd, which is interesting. And the Goblins are only 3 games out of the top 4, which they're still alive, but surely they were making up the numbers. They haven't had a win. We can't talk finals for them, can we?
No, there's no. They can go and make some Granny's cookies, I think.
Granny's cookies.
In the corner.
But yeah, so it's the ladder's starting to take shape. But as we preview this round, round 7, this round's going to have a massive influence on the ladder positions, and mainly being that the teams that are log jammed there in 3 to 5th, the bullies, peakers, and hookers, they actually all play teams below them on the ladder. So if the results go the way of the top ranked teams, it could be season over for the Tornadoes, Warriors, and Goblins.
Okay.
But then conversely, if the results are all upsets and the bottom teams win, then it just opens it up for everyone still in the...
Sounds more exciting.
It does. So, but we'll get into that now. We're going to start with the Peakers versus the Goblins.
Yep.
Peakers 4th, Goblins last. Is this a percentage booster and a chance for the Peakers to cement themselves in the top 4? But interestingly, the Goblins would have beat the Peakers on Saturday if they played. Would have beaten them by a point. Peakers should see the return of David Milne from his ankle injury. Improvement of Digger James has been a bonus, but they still need some more scoring output from Chris Dodds, Yvonne Casey and the Stig. It was good to see Soupy Collins turn up this week, even though he only put in a score of, I think, 24 or something, which was 26 actually, so that was actually improvement, Soupy. But yeah, the Goblins, they should get Benson back. Had a bit of a sore knee or a sore foot.
Very good player, Barry.
Sean Boland and Neil Keskinen hopefully will be back. Doreen Ivers, she'll be missing. Sunning herself up at Port Douglas, Darren.
Lucky.
The team isn't missing her much though, because she doesn't put much in. But let's hope her and Ken, the lane by the beach, they didn't take their golf club, so they're trying to have a break for the game. They may be watching Jack Nicklaus's book, Golf My Way, to try. It'd be a good read, wouldn't it?
I've read every page.
Yeah, but no, enjoy yourselves up there, Doreen and Ken. I'm sure your teams are missing you. But the Goblins could have the biggest name returning on Saturday. Not sure if we'll give him anything because he hasn't as yet this season, but the PP team member, Ryan Reynolds, will be back from Malaysia. I'm actually playing golf with him on Monday, tomorrow. I'll get a sneak peek at his form and report in, but I hear he has got the lefts.
He's got...
Just goes left and further left. But yes, it's going to be. So Darren, this one, where do you think the Goblins can win in this match?
Well, the superstars need to lift. Barry is normally very consistent. Beautiful golf swing, Barry. You got also with Dazzle Wilson, who's normally consistent, very good parent player. We've got Shirley Bell, who's just a true competitor every single time. Should still be a Pirates. Shirley, come back to the Pirates. You've also got some superstars lay down there, Justin McGrath and also Maxi, who play a very low handicap, so they should be excused, but once that wind stops blowing, they will come good. Maxi's up for a big score soon, and so is Justin, both very good players.
All right, do you think Rick can do 2 rounds in a row?
Of course he can, Rick. Beautiful, sweet golf swing. Just when he gets on the green, he goes to sleep a little bit, Rick. Just need to wake up.
Okay, one hit, Rick, you've heard it there from Heaton. Who's your pick, Heaton?
I'm going to go to the Goblins.
The Gobblers? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'll be going the Peakers. Now we're going to get into the Hookers versus the Tornadoes. The Hookers 5th, Tornadoes 6th. The Hookers are actually on a 3-game win streak. You could say they're nearly as hot as the Hawks at the moment. Darren, how did you find that on Saturday afternoon?
It's hot as the Hawks. Yeah, I found that great watching Dusty just walk around.
Yes, it was a good win, wasn't it, Hazy? But anyway, we've arguably the hottest team in the comp at the moment behind the Crusaders. Both teams would have been disappointed with their Saturday efforts and they'll be looking to atone for that. Both teams have everything to play for as the ladder's so tight. I would say the Hookers will lose fill-in player Toby Primetime.
That's
Big loss.
Yep.
Big shoes to fill. The Hookers should see the inclusion back of Choco Royal. Billy Adams, I think his first game from being overseas. Mickey McNeil, who pulled out on Saturday due to the poor weather.
Fair enough.
And Jeff Evans, who had a little sniffle.
Big strong Jeff.
Yes, you had a bit of stuff to say about Jeff when he wasn't playing. Yeah.
Big.
Yeah, he's big man.
Big, I can't even reach his shoulder.
Yeah, apparently had a sniffle, Ray said. Ray Vinegarin seemed to think he pulled out because he was playing against him their team against each other on Saturday, and that's why he withdrew. But he was sort of intimating that Jeff's heart was the size of a pea. But anyway, the Tornadoes, they've been full strength most of the year. Grudge match this. Hookers of Miles and McNeil up against the Sword and Ando. Ando is putting it on the Sword this week. He reckons he's actually been performing worse than Chris James this year, and he should be put into that category. Sword, you had 32 Saturday, so I don't believe it. You should be going together as a team, not infighting. Dave Hutton against Scotty Hopgood. As I said, Dave, plenty of golf balls in the pro shop. Are the women the key for this match? Can Jill Barker, Choco Royal and Ken Hughes match the scores of Yvette Pollock, yes, Fiona Newman and Norma Vogel?
Ooh, some good players there. Really good players there. Jill should be a pirate too.
So how do you think Ken will go in that women's contest?
In the women's contest?
Oh, well, Ken's replacing Helen Powell, so we group here into that. But yes, it's going to be a tough one. Who's your selection?
I'm going to go for the hookers. Definitely for the hookers. You got Jill, who's a superstar. Jill, time to perform, show them what you can do. Beautiful golf swing. Just moved very hard on herself. But they've got some big name players here. There's some superstars there. Jeff, slow it down a little bit. You don't hit the ball into orbit. He gives it a whack like it owes him money. Mickey, who was our superstar in the Pirates for many years. I know he's only playing once a week, I think. Once or twice a week, but he's got the capability.
You know we only have an allocated time to get this video done, don't you?
Just for me.
All right, you're going the hookers?
Yes, I'm going the hookers.
Good man. Now we go into third place Bullies against the seventh place Warriors. It's an interesting game, this one, and I'm not sure what to think. The Warriors are seventh on the ladder, and the Bullies, who were last season's premiers, are on a 3-game losing stretch. Season's on the line for both teams, in particular the Warriors. Loss for the Warriors could see them 2 games out of the top 4, while the Bullies don't want to lose 4 in a row. Warriors have been very consistent so far, but was Saturday's game just a blip, with 33 being their best score out of one of their players? There's 28 points difference between Saturday's scores between these two teams. And the Warriors, they need to put some improvement there. They need something extra from Craig Connolly, Cam O'Keefe and Noel Pike. Noel, maybe spend more time on the putting green than the 35 minutes it took you to put your cart back on your trailer on Saturday. The Bullies just need to repeat what they're doing. They're consistent, they're scoring 200 every week, and they really should just probably run over the top of the Warriors. The Bullies need more output from Sean Rodwell. His last 3 scores have only been in the 20s. Cooper Mack, we've talked about, and Kev Hudson. Be great if you played this week, Kev. Little sniffle as well for Kev on Saturday.
Strong Kev.
Kev Hudson, yeah. So we need something from you. The Bullies appear too strong. What are your thoughts? Are you going to be more a Warrior?
No, I'm looking at the Bullies. Some Bullies, I do believe they miss Roscoe, who's not in this year.
Yeah, Ross Gibb, yep.
Ross Gibbs was a superstar all last year. Also, we got Sean, who's normally a very consistent. I play a lot with Sean. Baseball grip, hockey grip, whack, 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 hits it a good ball. We've also got, you got Stewie, who's 41. He'll repeat it next week. He'll drag them along to a victory. But we've got the Warriors over here.
So who do you think the wild card is for this week's game?
I think the Warriors are. I think Peacock, you must fly. Grant's was it 20 last week, 38 the week before, and 20 something, pretty low. So there's some superstars in the Warriors, but it looks like the Bullies, I think they'll get some form going, so I'm going to back the Bullies here. They've got some really good players. Big Phil Stevens hits big bombs, very good player. And Jen back?
Jen will be back.
Ahoy there, captain. Time to lead from the front.
She does. She had a little under 30 last week.
Yes, very good player. I think she can lead it. But if you've got someone like Stu, you just got to go around him and support him and fight for every shot.
Yes, one just takes 1 point. Now we're going to get into our last match, which is the top of the table. Crossover Crusaders first versus the Pigden Street Pirates second, your mob. Isn't this going to be a cracker? This year's undefeated team against the marquee team, 2022 champions, 2023 runners-up. The Crusaders, what can we say? Most consistent. They look impenetrable this year, Darren. While the Pirates generally always seem to have the answers. The Pirates, you could say, are coming off a lucky draw. Manny had the chance to win and blew it. But yeah, the Crusaders could see the return of Slowburn Ibbotson. She could be back. So Yanni Lathouris out, replaced by Slowburn. That's if she comes back from Italy on time. Good to see the return form of Dan Hopgood and Jan Cogger. This could be a whitewash.
For the Pirates.
For the Crusaders.
For the Crusaders.
The Pirates, could they see Sue Gregory return from her broken toe or foot? Gary Brooks, I think, has been at the Australian Bowls Championships. Not sure if he's back. Now, I have some players of concern from your team. I'd like you to sort of analyse these ones for me. Jerry Raviani.
Superstar.
He's only had 2 counted scores this season.
He's pacing himself. Good on you, Jerry. Keep it going.
Jimmy Pike, he's the new recruit for the Pirates, seeing we had a player medically unable to continue in the season. He's played 3 games and had 27, 28, 27.
Yeah, that's good. You're coming good. He's improving.
Improving?
He's improving.
Okay, so is there anything he needs to do?
Nothing.
Nothing? Just keep going?
It's a matter of time before he puts in a fantastic score.
All right, and one of the most inconsistent ones of your team was a top 3 in the Drayton Medal in his first year. Had scores of 38, 27, 28, 26, 25, 23. Lee McMuffin.
Lee will come good when we need him. He tries his hardest, he swings it, swings away.
And I'm putting it out there that if he has something in the 20s again, it's going to be a toss-up for the Recometer between him and Yvette Pollock, I think. I'm thinking that's where we're at. Like, Hazy's away, and I don't like to go off script, but I think that's nearly getting into that territory.
No, don't listen to him, Lee. He's starting to talk a little bit of shit.
All right, so Darren, you're a Pirate. Where's the weaknesses of the Crusaders and how can you beat them?
Yanni's not going to be there. We've got a fair few players there that are getting a little bit tired. You've had a lot of wins. You're feeling good about it. You've sunk 2 birdies in a row and you know a double bogey's coming. You know it's coming and it's coming. Could be a triple bogey. It could be out of bounds and then out of bounds. I can feel the Crusaders, you're doing well. Not bad, but this is not the premiership time.
No, this is where it comes into. We're getting after Saturday's game. That means everyone's played each other once, and then it will also we'll go into our second round, and with that actually will be the start of the Survivor Series, which is another component of the event, which you've seen on the portal there, where the lowest scoring team gets eliminated each week. And on Saturday, we just had the Tornadoes eliminated with 188, and that leaves 2 players left. Or sorry, 2 teams left. There's no prize for this because it hasn't started. This is just the unofficial of how Survivor starts, and it leaves the Crossover Crusaders up against the Pigden Street Pirates in the Survivor final. So what a great way for that to finish, that these 2 teams are playing each other. And then, as I said, the Survivor Series will officially start from round 8 after everyone's played again, and then it's the lowest scoring team gets eliminated each week.
Yep.
And that'll just run in conjunction with our normal season. So it's a new event that runs in conjunction, and it's just started this year. So it's going to be great to see how that pans out. But Mirrors, thanks for joining us this week. We'd also like to thank our major sponsor, Neville Richards Real Estate there. So if you are looking at selling or buying, please give Luke Campbell and his team a call there and give them an opportunity to bid for your business. Callaway golf balls, thank you Callaway, and also Travis Matthew for the polo. So as we said, the Crusaders were the top scoring team this week, so there's a twin pack of Callaways in the pro shop for you. And then also Stu Balls Anderson, here's the Travis Matthew shirt. Hopefully I got one big enough to fit you, Stewie. And you also get the Great Northern cap and stubby holder.
Awesome. Good on you, Matthew. Think I miss you.
I miss him, your mate, Hazy.
He's so cuddly.
He is. He's a good man. So hopefully he's having a good time in Canada. Haven't seen any little snaps for him since he's been away, but he is keeping up to date with everything that's happening with Premier League. So, so thank you again, Darren, for coming in Sunday morning.
Go Pirates!
Everybody enjoy their Sunday and the week, and get out there and prepare for this coming week's games, because it's going to be a cracker. Thanks again for your time. You had a drink yet, or you still haven't had a